So, but that when I woke up after that dream, it was like, oh shit.
I know those dreams. I know those. I'm like, oh no.
And you kind of have to show yourself that you're serious. Otherwise, your higher self won't take you seriously.
Isn't that the case? Sometimes there are
Yeah.
weeks where I don't. Be sure to check out my Patreon for an extended interview where we can open up and talk more freely, which can be found at my Patreon link. Enjoy. Hello and welcome everyone to this interview with my good friend and colleague Rodger. He's a prolific dreamer, a lucid dreamer on an amazing spiritual awakening and path, and I have brought him on to discuss specifically dreams and what we're doing together in a dream group under my Patreon, where we are doing advanced dream experiments. We're looking at dream telepathy, dream manifestation, dream appearances, appearing in each other's dreams. And it's been a really wild ride. We've been together for a few months now, and it just keeps leveling up. And I have a hard time even keeping up with how amazing. So thank you, Rodger, for joining us and sharing your story today.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's a joy to be here and to talk with you. And it's been an awesome few months where we've gone deeper into the dream world and also the understanding of what the dream world is. So that's been fantastic.
Yes, yes. It's really shaping up to be some exciting material, which some of
Mm.
which I hope we can share today. I want to start with your journey about how the dream world affected your spiritual awakening and
Mm.
what the dream world has meant to you so far,
Mm.
if you would.
Yeah, so that, yeah, it is the dream world really had a very, very impactful, touched me really, really hit me between the eyes with relating to my spiritual awakening. So it was actually a dream that actually started to get me to think differently and about the world and trying to find out my place in this world after like I don't know 54 years. I consider
Mm,
myself like a late awakener. So it's in the last like 4 or 5 years that I've really feel that I've woken up to the truth about this reality that we live in. Um,
mm,
and it kind of all started when I moved out of the city. I felt like very oppressed
mm,
it's like the second biggest city here in Denmark, and I just felt like I needed to get out of the city, and a lot of things were happening at the time.
mm,
I was very involved in a local Pentecostal church, and I was rethinking my faith. I was having lots of questions about theology, about God, the universe, everything, and but I was so busy with everything. I was just saying yes to everything. Like I'm a recovering people pleaser, so I've learned a lot about that. But I got to the point where I just like was just crash and burn, and I had to cut things off and just move out
mm,
of the city as well. And
mm,
thankfully, my wife she agreed as well to move out.
mm,
So we moved to a small town. And not long after we moved to this small town, I had a dream, and that dream completely changed my life.
mm.
So basically, yeah, if you would like me to speak about the dream,
Oh, yes, please.
then what actually happened is yeah, I went to sleep one night and as I was waking up in the morning, sometimes that state you're in where you're in between worlds.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you're still hanging in the dream world, and the dream is kind of fading. But then you're waking up and you're just realizing you're lying in your bed, and um, that one world is fading out and
Mm.
the other world is fading in.
Yes.
Um, the what I experienced in that dream was just incredible. It was more of a feeling. It wasn't so visual, although I saw faces, I saw people that I knew from another reality,
Mhm.
maybe a past life or a parallel life or something that's still going on, that's to be
Wow.
finished at some point. Um, I was just hanging out with friends. It was just felt so natural, so beautiful. It just felt like home. I
Yeah.
just had this feeling of I was home again.
Wow.
And it was a collection of people. And these faces, these people, it's more of a frequency thing because I can't always remember what they look like, and sometimes they pop in and they look a bit different, but
Mm.
the frequency is the same. So
Okay.
you recognize the frequency of the person.
Mm.
It's a strong frequency that's the same for the whole of what I would call maybe my soul group. Um, so I was just hanging out with them, and just it was just this beautiful, serene, peaceful feeling. And I'm actually getting emotional now. So
Wow.
when I woke up,
Wow.
when I started to wake up, I was like fighting because like it was like, no, I'm not coming back here. It was like I was fighting with myself. No, I don't want to come back here. I want to stay there.
Wow. It was so
It was,
powerful.
it was, yeah, it was almost like an out of body experience or a near death
Mm.
experience. And I actually feel it might have been some kind of bilocation of my
Wow.
energy body that was actually there.
Wow.
Um, so I returned, and it was like it took me weeks to process this dream, because like I hadn't thought about past lives or anything like that.
Mhm. Really? Mm.
According to what churches teach, you have this one life. You're kind of born, and it's kind of you're a new creation, and you have to make this life count. And at the end of your life, it's you go up or down. It's like it's very simplistic in a way.
Right.
And then everything was like my whole paradigm was challenged by this dream because it was so real.
Wow.
It was more real than this 3D reality we're in.
Wow.
So that is what kind of opened my eyes for the power of the dream world.
Wow. And
Yeah.
do you think this is, and the connection you had to the beings in the dream was really
Mm.
profound. It was
Yes.
like coming home to a family or
Mm.
friends in a
Mm.
very flesh and blood kind of way, right? Like
Yes.
a real connection. Wow.
Yeah, it's not I didn't feel that they were like disembodied spirits or anything, but I felt that they were actually, because they looked human. So that, I felt that
Mm,
they were flesh and blood humans that
mm.
I had reconnected with, and have like unfinished business with in a good
Wow.
way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Mm,
wow. Interesting.
mm,
And and then these beings, they after this major dream, what happened for you personally? And then did you dream of them again? What did your dream
mm.
world turn into after this point?
Well, then I started taking notice of my dreams because up to that point I had just dreamt like random dreams, and I hadn't really put too much attention on it. So I
Yeah.
hadn't been journaling or anything, or it was just okay. My conception of what dreams were had changed radically, after
Wow.
that experience.
Wow.
So I started taking notice of my dreams, and I started to write down, not all
Yeah.
of them, but because some dreams, some dreams are like processing things, and but some dreams are, so like almost like a movie, like you
Yes.
see a movie going before you, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with what you've experienced in your waking life.
Right. Yes.
and that those are the kind of the dreams that especially make me like sit up and want to take note, because it's obviously happening within me, but it's also happening from without as well. Something is speaking to
Wow.
me
Yeah.
from somewhere. So I
Mm.
started to write them down, and I started to get more dreams where I experienced this group of people.
Okay.
I
Mm.
would say, I would say that there's probably, if we're going to categorize them, I'd say there was about like four females and about two males.
Mm.
Um, they looked, they looked very human. A different, mostly either light or dark hair.
Yeah.
So very much like, Earth humans. I do remember one particular dream where I felt like I bilocated to where they were, and we
Wow.
were sitting in a kind of a transport.
Yeah.
It looked like a flying saucer,
Mm.
but it was like one that was like a flying taxi.
Yeah.
So it was like a local one for flying around from location to location on a planet.
Wow.
So it was like a 360-degree view, so I could
Mm.
see all the way around, and
Mm.
they were sitting all in a circle, so we could all see each other.
Mm.
And so I was looking at them, and I was looking at a couple of women on the other side sitting there, sort of like dark hair. I can't remember what they had on, but
Hmm.
um, and I was chatting to them, and I was like trying to remember. And I was saying, "So I know you guys, and how many of you do I actually know?" And they said, "Yeah, all of
Mm.
us apart from this person here." And there was a woman there, and I said, "Oh," I said, "Are you new to the group?" And she said,
Mm.
"Yes, I'm new to the
Ah!
group."
An entry
Yeah.
level. Okay.
So I have no idea what was happening there. Absolutely no idea.
Wow. Do you feel like because very interesting because you have this, it's like a special gift in your dreams when you speak about bilocating.
Hmm,
So it's really interesting because when you read a lot of the books about this and ancient texts, I think we call it now a real astral projection, or
hmm,
it's termed astral travel, but that's gotten muddy now in the kind
hmm,
of spiritual world. But it's real. There's something that you do that would you agree that this didn't feel like a memory, but you
hmm.
actually were there at that
Yeah,
time?
actually felt like I had actually projected myself there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
astrally or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard to know how to describe it. Yeah, personally, I don't really like to talk about. I don't like the whole way of talking about astral realm and things like that,
Right.
because yeah, like you said,
It's
the
gotten
waters
watered.
have been muddied, yeah, a
It is
lot,
muddy.
by the
Yeah.
New Age community and stuff. So,
Yes. Yeah.
but it's obviously a real experience that to actually, also
Yes.
that we do have an energy body,
Yes.
um,
Hmm.
that for people that regularly get out of body,
Yeah.
they know the experience of
Yeah.
being in bed and then suddenly maybe standing at the foot of their own bed, looking back at their body like a
Yes.
near-death experience, but it's not. It's just a out-of-body experience, and then they
Yes.
can go and discover. They see things as energy. Everything's in the same place, the furniture and everything, but it looks a bit different because they're seeing with their energy body, and they've got like a. They're not seeing with eyes like we have. They're seeing with their consciousness, and
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
absolute fascinating thing with it.
One thing with people listening is that, um, this is something to strive for, that your level of dreaming abilities, this is a very real, to be able to almost bilocate in your dreams to,
mm,
and this is something to train and work towards, because some people might say, well, that's just his natural gift. How, how am I going to do that
mm,
when I can barely remember my dreams? But
mm,
I also want to note that your life before this big dreaming experience was very, very spiritual, that you've
mm,
been on a deeply spiritual path your whole life,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of openings that happen when you're connected to the other side, even in a formal religion.
Mm,
It's there. So I wanted to ask you your advice to people who might say, well, I don't know where to start. What do I do?
mm, mm. Yeah, well, I believe that anyone can have vivid dreams, anyone can lucid dream, and that anyone can also get out of body if they want to. For some people, it takes more work than others,
Hmm.
but I think if if you really, really want it, it's possible. But start small. I mean, start on the small. Start with wanting to like remember your dreams. That's just
Right.
stage one, I think.
Yes.
And you have to kind of say it consciously to yourself again and again,
Yes.
so that your subconscious and your higher self gets it. Like
Right.
I
Right.
want to dream vivid dreams. I want to remember my dreams.
Yes.
And you kind of have to show yourself that you're serious. Otherwise, your higher self won't take you seriously.
Isn't that the case? Sometimes there are
Yeah,
weeks where I don't remember my dreams, and I think to myself, no, but I really do want to remember. And then there's a voice that says, are you sure about that?
yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
seem pretty stressed out. I don't know. Let's
yeah,
maybe we'll,
yeah.
because it is a cycle. Sometimes there are times where I don't remember. But
Mm,
I get a little bit lazy, like you said, with consciously reminding your higher self to keep working with you, keep
mm,
going. It's easy to fall back into a metaphorical slumber, I
mm.
guess, when it comes
Yeah.
to dream technique. Yeah.
Exactly. So the first thing would be write it down, even
Right.
though you think that it's not important. Like even if you
Yes.
wake up and you just think, okay, I saw my grandmother and she was
Hmm.
making a cup of tea or something like that.
Hmm.
You might think it's insignificant, but write it down and then,
Hmm.
go back to it later or, maybe wait a few days and then, after you've written like five or six dreams down,
Hmm.
then go back to them and then look at them, and you might be like surprised that there's
Yes.
actually some kind of message to you there through them.
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
think that's the very first stage is to like
Hmm.
write your dreams down and make sure that you're serious about it. And also
Yes.
like sleep health as well. Make sure you don't go to
Sure.
bed too late,
Yes. Yes.
or drink too much, so you have to get up in the middle of the night. I don't know how many
Right.
times, and it's simple things like that. But I mean, you
Yes.
don't have to go crazy or anything, but just like just make sure that if you can go to bed early
Hmm.
and it's possible, for you, yeah, try different things. Go to bed like really early one day,
Yes. Yes.
maybe the next day go to bed really, if you're not working the next day, go to bed really, really late and deprive yourself of a bit of sleep, and then the next day go to bed really early. Try different
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Um,
To
yeah.
flex those muscles. Yeah.
Mm,
Absolutely. The so as you're after this major dream and your dreams were starting to become pretty prolific, correct?
mm,
How
yeah.
did it influence your life? Like how did it start to change you and the world around you?
Yeah. Well, I went through like a massive dark night of the soul afterwards. I've been through several of those, but it was like questioning reality. Like, so
Wow.
when you've had this kind of experience in dreams, which I had like a two or three to that point,
Mm,
um, and where I actually saw, as part of the group, I actually saw a female that I felt particularly like bonded to, that
mm,
we'd had
mm,
some kind of like relationship.
Mm.
in past lives, maybe for many past lives, I don't know.
Yes.
And that kind of really rocked my boat, although, it kind of made me
Hmm.
happy.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it kind of made me question my own reality,
Wow.
and what I'm doing here.
Mm.
Um, but
Mm.
it was, yeah, it just, all of this, like, what with trying to work out like what was true in my faith
Mm. Mm.
as
Mm.
well, that came into it as well. So
Yes.
I was deconstructing evangelical Christianity at the time,
Mm.
because it started to not make sense to me. Many of the theologies, about, us needing a personal savior, or
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
once you've been here, if you don't give your life to a savior, then you're going to a place called
Right.
hell, or you
Yes.
otherwise only a few people are going to make heaven. That just didn't make sense to me, because there were so many people that were on. I
Hmm.
saw so many people on a spiritual path
Hmm.
that, were not constrained by this limiting theology. And I thought,
Yes.
God's not going to punish anyone for trying. That just
Right.
didn't make sense to me.
Yes.
So I was
Yeah.
deconstructing this whole time, and so it threw me, because basically all of my friends were Christians,
Yeah.
apart from a few, like family, further out family and stuff. It
Yeah.
just I didn't have anyone to go to. I didn't,
Right. Mm.
so I went online, and I tried to find on the internet other people, other Christians that had begun to deconstruct their beliefs and have a more expansive spirituality.
Yes.
So I found authors, I found podcasters, I found
Hmm.
people doing YouTube videos, and so I went to them, and I consumed and I consumed and I consumed
Yeah. Yes.
until like I finished, like, yeah, until after a couple of years where I felt, okay, I've done that, I've deconstructed as much as I can. Now I need to construct, what I do believe, or what I want to
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure for many people, watching this and myself as well, it's a continuous cycle of wanting to fit into the theological structure, to give
Mm,
all of my blind faith to it just so that I can be comfortable and have a community
mm,
and I love the values there, in the more in the traditional religious
mm,
setting, but then um, realizing some of the things that I've seen and witnessed, such as yourself, and even in the dream world and in other altered states, that I can't force myself to fit into that
mm,
regime. So it's a lifelong journey.
mm.
So yeah, I understand that. And I mean, so you had no one to really talk to about these incredible dreams,
No.
about what was happening. Specifically, what um were there dreams that made you did you come to a point from any of your dreams or this journey that gave you wisdom or more perspective on reality? Was there a point where you said, it's like, oh my, a very aha moment did you have through this time?
I think, like, I started to, because I'd been very, like, dependent on like reading the biblical texts, for
Mm.
example, about Jesus,
Hmm.
and getting like strength from that. And there is still a lot of really good truths
Oh
in the New
yes.
Testament,
Yes.
especially, those,
Hmm.
those scriptures and passages that
Yes.
haven't been corrupted or changed. So
Mm.
there's a lot of good truth in that, and it does actually point to the fact that, you need to go within,
Right.
um, to actually find the truth.
Yes.
And Jesus, or Yeshua, as his
Mm.
proper name is, did speak about, us, that we would do greater things than he did. So,
Wow.
so I actually went a lot to like alternative texts. So I went to like the Gospel of Thomas, which
Yeah.
is I think it's fantastic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a book of sayings, but they're
Yeah.
just like so deep, and
Yeah.
you know, it's all about going within. And then also like the Gospel of Mary.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Wow.
Unfortunately, so there's a big piece missing in the Gospel of Mary, so it must be buried somewhere. But
Must
the
be good.
part, yeah, they must be good.
Yeah.
So, but the parts we do have of the Gospel Mary are just like
Yeah.
mind blowing. You know, it
Yeah.
just, and it seems like that Mary Magdalena, she had a very, very big part in the life
Yeah.
of Jesus. Maybe they were partners,
Mm-hmm.
but she really was like one of the
Yeah.
head honchos, if not maybe the head
Right.
apostle or disciple, because her wisdom really comes through. So she really like seems to understand the spiritual
Mm-hmm.
world,
Yes.
and the you know the play between the matter and the spiritual.
Yes.
And she lectures the other disciples, and she actually
Right.
tells Peter off.
Makes them mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really, yeah, she makes them mad
Yeah.
with her wisdom, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I went
Mm-hmm.
a lot to these texts, and I went
Yes.
like I meditated on these texts, and I just
Mm-hmm.
and I just
Yeah.
went into yeah, I went into a time where I regularly meditated. So this is what really helped me.
Okay. Okay.
Regular meditation really helped
Yes.
me, and it also like it kind of helped my dream world as well. So
Mm-hmm.
meditating during the day,
Mm-hmm.
and then this would also affect my dream life as well. Um, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah,
Makes sense. Yes.
going within and realizing that divinity was inside of me, and I am a sovereign being.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's so interesting how meditation there's been a lot of studies of the brain chemistry and what's happening. And it's kind of in my belief that as the two hemispheres of the brain start to communicate, they get more to what, Monroe classified as the hemisync state.
Mm,
There's a connection there that seems to be influential in remote viewing,
mm,
successful meditation, out of body, lucid
mm,
dreaming, dreaming in general, and remembering. There's something similar to how they all affect each other, psychic work
mm,
as well. And they all start to level up. And often it's with meditation that it
mm,
starts this way. It was the same for me as well. Really interesting. We're going to talk later about on my Patreon about also how your dreams, I mean, a different landscape of dreams. So we've been talking about these influential, inspiring dreams
mm,
connecting with what you might call a soul family, if I'm
mm,
correct, or um, and and it's a great gift that you have there. But then another landscape of getting memories coming back.
mm,
Maybe I could ask you, how does it feel in these two different landscapes when you're working with perhaps memories that come, or
mm,
you're really on another realm by locating to visit your soul family?
mm. Yeah. So the difference, yeah. So I think there's a like a difference in like feeling the frequency. I mean, like
Hmm.
when it's like a bilocation, or actually feeling that you're actually there together, you know, with other
Mm,
people, with other souls, or it has a
mm,
different feeling to it
yeah.
when I
Okay.
wake up, and also like when I felt like it's been a memory,
Mhm.
then there's I've been waking up, and it was like there's a kind of a feeling like a oh, oh wow. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like
Yeah.
you wake up, and you kind of slowly start to remember the dreams that you've had during the night.
Yeah.
Um, so you know, I like to keep the room dark.
Hmm.
Like just stay off the phone. just
Mm-hmm.
and just wake slowly and just ask your higher self, or just say, I want to remember. I want to
Mm-hmm.
remember completely. And so I've done that, and then something has come, and it's just been like, oh wow. So I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. For example, I mean, should I bring an example?
Sure. Yeah.
Um, there was one dream that I had, um, and it was like a movie. It was just like a movie from
Mm.
start to
Mm.
and I hadn't
Interesting.
been, yeah, I hadn't been,
Interesting.
and it had nothing to do with anything that I'd watched on TV or read the week before or even the month before. I was in this darkened room, like a big hall, like a slanted room, and it was like dank, and it's like maybe a bit like wet, and that was the feeling of it. And there was the feeling that there was lots of other people there, like
Mm.
me,
Yeah.
and we were kind of trapped. We had been captured and taken as slaves,
Yeah.
and so then the movie just continued, and then lots
Mm.
of some people came down some
Mm-hmm.
stairs
Mm-hmm.
in the distance. They came through a door and then down some stairs, like these kind of these metal stairs that go down like 3 or 4 flights. And they
Mm-hmm.
came down these stairs because this room was like huge, and they had weapons. They had, like, I saw they had badges on them. They had like silver eagle badges on them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on the like left, and they had like advanced weapons. And my feeling was, my intuition said that they had come to settle a rebellion amongst some
Mm.
reptilian entities that were kind of like middle management, that
Mm.
they had, the reptilians had the responsibility to keep us there and to use us as
Yeah.
slaves, basically as slave labor. But for
Mm.
some reason,
Yeah.
they came down and they weren't happy with the reptilians, so
Yeah.
they came and they started attacking them, and
Yeah.
the
Wow.
a battle carried on, and in the end, these humans, who had obviously like pretty advanced weaponry, they ended up
Mm-hmm.
winning, and they set
Wow.
us free. They set us free. Um,
Wow.
but that when I woke up after that dream, it was like, oh shit.
I know those dreams. I know those. I'm like, oh no. Wow. It's
Yeah.
like in a very different feeling than
Mm,
having been kind of bilocated and you're working on something with a group, as opposed to it's when memories are trying to find a place in your dream world. There's an
mm,
entirety, there's a feeling of entirety to the dream, like a movie, like you're saying.
mm,
It's it might not be we could talk more in Patreon, but it might not be the actual dream verbatim, but there are elements that your subconscious is trying desperately to put in one chunk for you
mm,
to understand. And that
mm,
I totally get that. You wake up and the movie is clear from beginning to end. And it's different from bilocating. Very interesting. I want to dive more into this when we move over to Patreon, but this is very interesting, your dreamscape, because you you're visiting these different types of platforms, these different ways the subconscious can speak to you. And it's very important for everyone who's awakening because, for example, I've had a lot of these dreams of memories
mm,
as I've been putting together my testimony, but not so much yet of connecting with a soul family, or at least that I can remember anyway.
mm,
And so it's important for me to see the potential of where I can go once I'm done figuring out this program and this figuring out my dreamscape. So it's just
mm,
really interesting how you experience the dream world with this in this profound nature, and also lucid dreaming, right? So you
mm.
you have lucid dreamt quite a bit, right?
Yes. Yes, yeah, I've had yeah a lot of lucid dreams in the
Yeah.
last 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
So yeah, like in the beginning, it was like I would just be flying. It's like, okay, what am I going to
Wow.
do? Superman, I'm flying.
Wow. Yes, that's right. And
I would just like lift off, and then I could just fly anywhere. So
yeah.
that was fun. But I tried other things as well, and also
Yeah.
like I think I told you about this one, but it was like I woke up in this because in a lucid dream you kind of wake up in the dream.
Right. Right.
You've already constructed, or you've constructed together with other souls, this environment.
Yes.
And so I woke up in a like a ger little German town. I
Oh,
think it was,
right.
yeah, and I was at this restaurant and I saw people, and interacted with them, and I saw somebody who told me that they were from a related soul group. They weren't my soul group, but they
Mm.
were kind of like a soul group that was connected to my soul group, and
Mm.
it was wild. And then
Wow.
and I met a guy as well who we taught, who said to me, are you one of those as well? And I said, yeah, I think so. Are you a lucid dreamer? And he said, yeah, yeah. And he says this,
Wow.
we I can't remember what he said, but he said something about, there's only so many of us, and I think he talked about the
Wow.
number. There's about 12 of us, he said, and I don't know if it was 12 of us that had
Maybe.
agreed to
Hmm.
construct this kind of environment that I saw.
Yeah.
It could have been, and
You're
then
12
and
in your,
then
yeah.
yeah, and then I kind of thought, oh, I've been here for a long time. Maybe and I kind of like done everything I wanted to do. So I had to get back, get back to my bed in some way. And I was like, how do I do that? Okay, do I like, okay, so I tried to jump off a building.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Yeah,
this.
that didn't work. And then I tried to drown myself.
Wow.
And that did work. So, no,
It's
yeah.
it's so interesting, Roger, because this alone takes a level of fearlessness, right?
Mm,
That for many of us to even jump off a building, you you haven't, we haven't figured out how to get over the fear mechanism, which is a
mm,
huge part of lucid dreaming, that fear can't really
mm,
be present, otherwise it rips you out, right?
mm,
I mean, this was something I was going to ask you because with other very powerful souls that I've come in contact with, often their dream space, and especially for men, there's a power that you carry in your dream world, and it's an
mm,
inner power, um, and not afraid to have to fight if you need to.
mm,
There was instances you told me where you have fought some, what would you call them, interference actually of beings,
mm,
that you've pushed them out of your dream
mm.
space, right?
Yeah, like I remember one dream where a ninja kind of dropped down from a balcony
Yeah.
and tried to attack me, and then I don't know, I obviously knew some kind of karate moves, so I just did the karate moves and kicked him back.
Wow. Wow.
And also I remember another dream where like humans that were obviously some kind of reptilian entities, hybrids or whatever,
Mm.
they came towards me, and then I knew that they meant harm towards me. So I started swirling energy. So I just used my hands, and I was going like
Right.
this, and I was going
Yes.
spiraling. I was taking my
Um,
hands around, and I was directing energy towards them.
wow.
So
Wow.
I used that to attack them, and then they kind of
Mm.
like shriveled up. They shriveled up to snakes, and then went
Wow.
away. So yeah.
Yes. Wow. And this is so important, because, you and I understand, after all our work together, but those watching might not understand that what we're trying to also understand is how our dream space can be penetrated by other forces and
Mm,
by either programming or actual entities, or beings or humans that are able.
mm,
and learning, and we're starting to get on the edge of proving that we can do it. And the it's important to learn how to fight for this space, for
mm,
sovereignty over this space. And you have this intuitively, which is very amazing to me as a,
mm,
researcher and dreamer, that you're able to push out. And it might not just be a figment of your imagination. And this is what,
mm,
listeners should, you know, start to understand that these are real entities that can come in cloaked and try to
mm,
keep you suppressed. It could be some kind of technology that can manifest things in
mm,
our dream world as well, to keep us in fear, to keep us weak and in
mm,
victimhood. So this is amazing for people to understand that your ability to do energy work there is just as powerful as your waking life.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also helped me, although, I said that I, deconstructed a lot of the ideas around evangelical Christianity, but there is also the understanding of the spiritual world, that there
Mm-hmm.
are entities that that
Yes.
can come in or disturb you in some way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that the Pentecostals do know about.
Yes.
The
Oh,
spiritual
yes.
world.
Yes.
So that I'd kind of learnt that before as well, and it can, kind of put a turbo on it for me after I'd kind of like, had a spiritual awakening. But I knew how to deal with like entities that would wake me up in the middle of the night,
Wow.
and then I would, kick them
Yes.
out of the space.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
so
And
so yeah.
this
Mm,
isn't taught to any of us, you know?
mm.
When you're in these
No.
more the organized religion, though,
Mm,
there is a real understanding of evil and of darkness and how it can
mm,
penetrate your life. But
mm,
for the rest of us, that we're not taught at all how to be aware,
mm,
um, and protect. And the the scope I'm starting to find of the different types of energies and beings that can penetrate our dream space is starting to get bigger. I'm starting to
mm,
understand that um, that high occult societies absolutely are trained to do,
mm,
you could call it black magic in the dream world, and to
mhm,
become prolific lucid dreamers, create these, even like a astral army in a sense, to be
mhm,
influencing other people. And then of course the intelligence agencies taking that information for themselves and
mhm,
using it on normal civilians. I mean, it's so important to have this conversation about fighting not only perhaps like, demonics or humans that might be trying to penetrate your space, but also these huge organizations, which is um, important, but it's manageable. Look what you do, right? This is, so
mm.
it should be inspiring, I hope, for everyone watching, that all it takes is to become aware in this space and start fighting for your sovereignty, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so much happens in the dream space. It's not just like you and your own dreams. It's like
Right.
there are,
Yeah.
there are people that have shared dreams.
Yeah.
There are
Yes.
people um, that understand how to work the dream world with
Yes.
the people maybe that they work with, or you know
Yeah.
family, friends, whatever,
Yeah.
to prepare maybe their waking life in some way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe I've often felt like I've woken up and I felt like I've talked to this person or that person in the dream space to
Yeah.
work something out of
Right. Yes.
how we're going to do something in daily life. And I even
Hmm.
had that happened once I feel with a work meeting where I felt like I needed to change some things,
Mm.
I did a lot
Wow.
of I felt like I did a lot of work in the dream space
Yeah.
first, which made that work meeting went really like smooth and just like
Wow. Wow.
without much abrasive you know people coming against me, but it was like it was some hard things I had to, like, I wanted to change, but
Mm.
it actually went really well. So,
Yes, and this is a great segue about understanding as humans that the dream world has a direct effect on our waking life. And
mm,
how they severed that knowledge from us is just, I mean, it's brilliant because it's,
yeah,
if there's, and I mean, it's brilliant that they can control you so much more if you are not connected to the dream world.
mm, mm,
What I want to show is just a little bit about then what our work has shown
mm.
as just some scientific data. If you don't mind, can I play part of the clip of when
Oh yeah.
you were targeted? So this is a clip of one of our Dream Circle meetings, and we had targeted Rodger, and what we did was sent him an image of a famous painting. So we sent it to him while you were sleeping. I believe this specifically you were in a REM state, like early in the morning at your time. And so the other targeters, we sent him an image, hoping that when he woke up, he would have either the painting entirely remembered or he would remember details. And
Mm.
so I'll share this. Let's see. I hope that you tell us about how your dreaming has been the last few days.
So yeah, I have no idea what, like, kind of what intention you guys had or what you were
Hmm.
trying to do, but I was seeing orange, different orange colors, things. And I
Mm.
was like wondering what, like piercing kind of blue, well, clear eyes anyway.
Oh.
Like they were like larger than human, you know, the Earth human eyes anyway. And it was a woman, and
Mm.
she had her she had this really thick hair, like she had her hair really really thick curls coming down, and they were kind of they looked otherworldly, but it was like it looked beautiful.
We telepathically sent you an image of Van Gogh's Starry Night. So I'm going to pull it
Oh,
up here. It's interesting how they incorporate in the dream world, but you saw the orange. So
ah,
now there are orange spheres,
yes, yes,
and
that's true.
very, very important. And also the thick, dark hair. So it does very
Wow,
much look like hair.
wow.
Exciting to see.
But I think like my consciousness or my higher self, like you know, allowed it to come in because you know that's what we agreed. We'd
Yeah.
like pre-agreed on it, so I'd already agreed
Hmm.
on it. So, but it was like it kind of wove
Hmm.
it into maybe some of my own dreams. So it's a kind of a
Yes.
mix. There was a kind of a mixture
Hmm.
of my own dreams and you know what I was working on myself, plus this
Yeah.
coming in from the side, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes, it's interesting how your subconscious takes the data from the painting or the
Mm,
image or the picture and then puts it into a 3D world that makes sense to you.
mm,
That and that can also mean something.
mm,
Um, but this was, I remember I was so thrilled because this was my first glimpse at the power of being able to influence the dream
mm,
space and also the positive effect it could have if you're trying to help someone or if there's a
mm,
therapy involved where you can plant subconscious or seeds in the subconscious mind that would affect your waking day because I remember our intention was something very positive to bring you some kind of peace or a high frequency and you had mentioned that the dream was so positive in nature that it also affected your waking day
mm.
and and
Yeah.
and the reverse could be opposite too. So if there are beings that really want to keep you down, you could
Mm.
easily send someone a nightmare as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I also had a lucid dream, which I also like I think I told the group or I told you,
Hmm.
where I was in this I kind of woke up in this house
Mm-hmm.
Like I woke up in the dream and I was walking towards this house, and then all of a sudden I opened the door and there was like someone there I knew, and then
Yeah.
these people were living there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like just seemed as normal as anything. It was just like, okay, I know these people, and
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're having a party later. Okay, fine. How many people are coming to the party? 18? Oh, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was this guy there that was like talking to me about lucid dreams and saying, ah, yeah, you have to be careful about lucid dreams because there was this guy once who was a lucid dreamer, and it didn't go so well for him, and he was like saying these things to me, and I was like looking at him and I thinking,
Oh.
hello, who are you?
Yes.
What's your agenda?
Yes. Yes, you start to see when you're being influenced.
Mm, yeah.
It's true. And it's such a fascinating, now I know if there's somebody that's, or a technology you can say too,
Mm, yeah.
um, that's interfering with your space.
Mm,
And it's not to scare people, it's to bring awareness so that you can
mm.
build the tools to fight back. Wow. I
Yeah,
mean,
I just thought it was amusing, so
yeah, you didn't give him any power. You didn't give him
yeah,
any power.
exactly. I said, yeah, okay,
Right.
that's very interesting. Yeah, no, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and I can catch the signatures too now. Usually the eyes give it away if there's somebody
Mm,
that can be cloaked, because it's a real technology to cloak yourself and be able to go in someone's dreams and influence. But when you're awake there, their tools become powerless. Wow, we're going to be moving into some really exciting experiments with dream healing. We'll expand on lucid dreaming, memories, and helping each other get memories either from childhood or past lives.
mm,
The technique that's involved, how we can help each other through dream influencing and through building our lucidity, so that we can explore these powerful, I want to say, maybe gifts of the dream world of
mm.
just all of the potential. So we're about to dive in. I'm really excited. But let's move into. We'll take a short break and then let's move into our memory work and some of the exciting overlap, and that will be really fun. So we'll see you on the other side. And thank you for coming. And if you want to watch this extended, we're going to be talking about memories and dreams and how it affected both Rodger and I awakening to a reality that of our existence in what I'll call black programs. I guess I'll put it that way. And we'll expand more in a little bit. We'll see you over there.